In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing you guys' copy, and I'm basically going to be breaking down the mistakes you've made, but also what's really good about the copy you've written and the copy you've given to me, and so that everyone watching this video and everyone I've been reviewed can learn from each other, and we can learn from our mistakes, and we can learn from each other's wins, so that ultimately we can become better copywriters, because that's the whole goal. We want to get better at writing so that we can, get more people to take action. It's okay if you didn't get your chance to get reviewed, because in the future I am doing a series on this, so if you want your copy to be reviewed, there is a chance, and I'll tell you how at the end of this video. But for now, let's get into this video and let's review some copy. By the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to be personally reviewing my own copy that I used in one of my YouTube videos to get 111k views on one viral YouTube video, so you can also see that as well to really help strengthen your copywriting as well. Okay, so the first one, I won't be saying names. If you recognize your copy, then awesome. I won't be saying names because I don't want to call anyone out for any reasons, but I'm going to be just reviewing this one. So this is the first one, the subject line. This is an email for context, by the way. You don't need a genius mind for success. I think it's a pretty good subject line. A lot of people think that, you have to be this smarty pants or this really, really smart person to actually be successful. So it's definitely a common objection. If you really want to go harder on this, obviously you're addressing the objection, but I think to go even further with making the subject line even more punchier, which could be more attention grabbing, but you could test, is something about stupid people are more successful than smart people. You can still be dumb and be successful. Something like that, right? You can still be dumb and be successful, because it's making them think, well, obviously you don't want to sound horrible, more attention grabbing. So I think this is a good subject line. I think you could just strengthen it. So, hey, first name, so you're addressing the name, which I think is really good. A study by Harvard shows that the richest people on earth, the top 1%, aren't those who have the most brilliant minds or highest IQs. I like how you're using a statistic. A lot of people don't really do this, and I think it's very interesting when you enter an email with a did you know, or a study shows this, or this recent scientific breakthrough said this new thing, right? It's proof of concept. I think you could make it sound more realistic, make it sound more scientific, and actually get it from the internet or wherever you've seen it. But people with an average mind, actually it's them. Interesting, right? This might be surprising, but its reason to this is hidden in a familiar quote. So I'm guessing you're saying the reason why average people are still having success, I'm assuming. So consistency beats talent. So it's seen that brilliant minds often lack a simple aspect in their life, consistency, which is consistency. But what fuels you to stay consistent? It's your mindset. Imagine this, a YouTube video. I like the use of imagine this. You got that from my video. I like that a lot. I actually saw this common thing. You guys are even using the magic words, the phrases. It's good. A YouTube video promises to make people rich, and it is seen by 100 people, but how many will truly be transformed by it? I think transform is very subjective, right? What I mean by that is transform is it can mean so many different things. How many people will take action or be impacted by the video? Because actually, I see where you're going with this, but there is quite a big percentage of people who do get impacted by it. But so here's a reality check. 80 won't even watch to the end, leaving 20. Of those 20, okay. In the end, only one person, because success is not for the chosen few, but for the few who choose to persist. If this resonates with you, it's clear that developing the right mindset. I'm excited to provide you with a free money mindset journal. It will help you set goals and develop the mindset to achieve them. Click here to download the free guide now. Best regards, and name. Okay, there's a few things that I like about this email, and there's a few things that I don't like about this email, but first of all, I'm going to tell you what I love about this email. The first thing that I do quite like about this email is you do a very good job at actually structuring your copy. So as you can see here, there's one-line sentences. It's not chunked up, because what I see a lot of people do is they like to write in huge chunks, and no one wants to read big chunks of text. So I think this is really good. So you're separating sentences to make it more readable for a reader, which I think is really cool. And And I like how you've done a decent job at for highlighting specific words in bold, italics and stuff like that, and underlining, which is good. I also like how it's easy to read with the bullets. I like how you've clearly mapped it out. It's quite easy. But one thing I see a mistake here, and I see this with quite a lot of copy, is there's no one line. And what I mean by the one line is it feels like it doesn't flow. It feels like the idea isn't really like consistent. What I would say is, I would say go back, right? Go back to your drawing board and write a sentence. So with a pen or whatever it is, write a sentence and write what's the one goal for this email? What's the one moral? The one concept that I'm trying to convey. So for example, every single time I'm writing an email or something, and also the analogy you've used. I like how you've used imagine. I think that use of using the word imagine is really good. I just think the analogy could be a lot more related, right? So you want to think about your main idea. What's your main idea? I am trying to get them to believe that they do not need to be a super smart person to be successful. Is that the right idea? Or because your ending is about free money mindset journal, right? You're trying to get them to download a money mindset journal. But if you think about the actual, framing of going into the email, it doesn't link to mindset so much. So you have to make sure that from top to bottom, your whole copy links around one idea. But overall, how would I rate this email? I would give it like a 6 out of 10. But I would say if you made it around one idea, then that would be good. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of copy. I love what you've done here actually. So I'm already just seeing is, I think one thing you're doing is you've given yourself a very good structure. Whether or not you've used this for AI or if you've used this for your personal reference, this is what I like, okay? This is what you should do when you're writing something. If you're someone who, can't keep things in your head and you don't, because I know a lot of people will go off track, is write yourself a structure. Like this email, for example, is first of all, tell an intriguing story. So you should really put that first. Curiosity subject line, tell an intriguing story that ends with a lesson, then ask them to reply with their current challenges. That's giving yourself a really good structure. Plus it keeps you on the line, which is the one idea. Another thing I really, really, really love about this as well is you've got your audience, you've got your audience research here. And listen, you don't need to have a huge paragraph, you just need to know who the flipping person is, what their problems are, what they, just like quick stuff that you can use as a reference to include in your copy. And another thing I really like is you've got 4 variations of your subject line. So let's read it. The reason why I'm so successful, okay? How I grew my Instagram brand to 200K in 180 days. Now that is better, okay? I think another mistake is a lot of people do, and I'm glad you have this second one here, is even I've done myself when I'm writing copy, is being too subjective and being too broad with your thing. You're not really being specific, right? You're just saying how I became successful. One, people might not want to actually click on that because they don't really know you, and people like Alex Hormozi, it would work for people like Alex Hormozi, but if they're not like super big, then, but if you specifically say your Instagram brand grew to 200K in 180 days, if I'm going to be honest, I really like how I grew my Instagram brand to 200K in 180 days. Here's another thing I've learned is to really spice this specific sentence up a bit more, is you can be more specific with your number. And I don't mean this in a picky way, but I mean it in a way that sounds more realistic and it actually builds more curiosity. So if I say to you, here's how I made 10K in 90 days, or if I say, here's how I made 10,545 pounds in 97 days. It sounds more real compared to the other one, and it makes it sound more, why is it so oddly specific? It must be true. Wow. So for example, you could say how I grew my Instagram brand to 217K in 175 days. It's just more specific. But overall, I really like that. I always wanted to spend more time with my family. and to raise my kids on a small farm with chicken, goats, horses, bees, and a big garden. In short, I craved freedom. I wanted to wake up each day with time to focus on what mattered most, my family, my passions, and the life I always imagined. But there was a problem. I had zero experience with making money on my own. Never had I even set up, I like that. This is one really good thing, is you're telling people what it's not, what you don't have to do, what you didn't have to do, what you didn't have. So it makes them think, so then how did you do it? What did you do? You're saying, I didn't do this, it's not this, it's not this. It's a very good curiosity element. So I had two options: keep pushing, complaining, and staying exactly where I was, or get up, take action, and change things for me, my kids, and my dreams. I bet you can guess which one I chose. But it wasn't easy. I tried everything you could imagine and nothing was working for me. Yeah, that's really good. You have to specifically say what you specifically tried, because one, it's more relatable. I came across Instagram, I saw a bunch of other mums just vlogging their daily lives. So I figured, why not me? I tried to follow the advice I saw from these mom influencers, but guess what? Still nothing. It was a stressful time. I was playing with different accounts and trying different viral strategies. I like that, because a lot of people have tried that as well. But I was totally lost. Yeah, using things like but, so, and then, they help to flow sentences, so it's really good. But I was totally lost and didn't know what I was doing until one day everything changed. That's good. I discovered a strategy that no one's talking about, new, I like this, and grew my brand new account from 0 to 100k in just 180 days, all by making easy reels. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, so you've all probably heard of this, and it's called the NESB rule, okay? And the NESB rule is by far the most important rule that you have to follow, and there is a huge psychology behind NESB, which I will break down in separate videos. But for now, NESB, if you was to break down this specific thing here, I discovered, which means new. You've discovered a strategy that no one's talking about, so that's new. It's a big, so this is a really big claim. That's the NB. You're using new and big, and then you're backing it up with all by making easy reels with only 1 to 2 hours of work a day, no endless grind, no spending hours glued to my phone. It changed my whole life. See, this is what I really, really, really like. You're using the NES. So you're using NEB, but you're also using safe, because you're not wasting time. So that's another really good thing that I really, really like about this specific statement here. You guys always want to make sure that you have NESB in your copy, and it doesn't have to just be a structure, because I think a lot of people think that NESB is the structure. It's not. Those are elements that you have to include. Another thing about NESB is people, obviously they want to know how you grow on Instagram, but they want to know something that's new. They don't want to, I'll go deep on this because there is a lot of psychology on this, but there's a part in the brain called the lizard brain, which is at the back, and it categorizes things as, should I ignore this? Should I go ahead with this? Or should I eat this? Right? So the lizard brain, right? And it's either going to say, should I ignore this? Or should I, go ahead and listen to this? What this does is it ignores the categorization, and it says, no, you should listen to this because this is new, and this is something you can't categorize as something you've seen before, because you're saying you discovered it, no one's talking about it, with only 1 to 2 hours a day, no endless grind, no hours glued to my phone. It's new. It's making them think, well, how? This must be something I haven't tried before. So again, you're using, I didn't have to do this, I didn't have to do that, and that's really good as well. No one's talking about grew my brand new account from, I think one thing you can do is just be really specific with your numbers as well, because just saying 0 to 200k is very vague. You have to say like 0 to 217k in 181 days. Fast forward to today, I'm making 6 figures on autopilot with my Instagram brand. Most importantly, I finally have the time and freedom I always dreamed of. One thing I really like you doing as well, as I didn't mention, is you used a very relatable story, which is very good for the viewer because they probably want something like that as well. And the stories really intrigue people. The reason I'm telling you the story, this is the moral. Taking action and persistence in pursuing your dreams despite challenges and setbacks can lead to life-changing success. But making a decisive choice and continuously learning, it's possible to achieve freedom and the lifestyle you so go for ahead. Go, okay. Okay, so BTW is probably not a good word to use considering your audience, who is 30 to 50-year-olds who don't really use that language. You can just say, by the way, e.g. bestie, sign off. You don't need to say sign off. In my next email, I'll share some hacks that will help you get, I really like this PS. You're assuming that they're going to watch read the next email, so it's really good. You want to keep them on and intriguing. Overall, I would say this is a really, really, really good email. Let's move on to the last email. One thing I will do is I will break down one of my own emails for you guys to get an idea as to what makes a pretty decent email. Bear in mind, I've written some of these like quite a long time ago. I just want to say one thing for context of the actual copy behind this. I use this in my 111K video, so just for context, that's this. So let me break it down for you. So they're hiding something from you, name. It's like, it's super curious, it's very broad. It's not super specific, which isn't a good thing. It's very, very conversational. I find that with emails, you want to be, there's different ways of doing it, but I think for me, I like being conversational. So they're hiding something from you, Alicia. It's in very low caps as well, bearing in mind my audience, so very young audience. So Alicia, have you heard of these copywriting gurus? You know, Cardinal Mace, Ben the Bad, Tyson HD 4K. And by the way, I'm not slating them here. Well, I've realized they've been hiding everything. All right, let me explain. Listen, I know you've tried it all. I should probably say specifically what you've tried, right? See, this is something I haven't even done. Specifically saying what you've tried or what it's not. So I'm guessing you want to learn copywriting, right? But you haven't got a Scooby-Dooby clue where to even start. Even after watching all these gurus, you're still sitting in front of your laptop, staring at a blank screen and a sad blinking cursor, waiting for your brain to magically give you the words like some miracle. See, this is what's called being very specific. You're painting a picture in someone's mind, so they're physically like imagining themselves sitting at a computer, staring at a blank screen with a sad blinking cursor. And I'm specifically saying sad blinking cursor because it's very sad to see a blank screen with no text on it. Waiting for your brain to magically conjure up the words like some miracle, right? Because that is just what I do, and it's actually quite relatable because that's what I used to do. And you've probably scanned the internet, trying to find all the answers, trying to find that one copy and paste template, trying to find that one magic solution so you can finally learn how to write copy. Now, what this does is this whole section, it kind of foreshadows that there's going to be a solution. Also, the repetitiveness of trying. I don't know what you call it. I think it's called like a soundbite or something, but it gives a rhythm to the email. So like the one Tyson said he promised you, which I probably wouldn't say anymore, because it's like not really, I can reel it back in, but you still can't seem to put words onto the screen. And all you're finding is these gurus hiding their secrets from you in their 997 courses that you'll probably never buy, which I probably shouldn't say, but frustrating, right? I feel ya. Let's say I feel ya. How dare they? But want to know the truth, Alicia? Gold like that should be shared for everyone, should be free for everyone. What if I told you that there was a way of learning copywriting without paying thousands for a course? A way that will teach you the same gold these gurus will teach you in their courses. A way where you can access all the treasures you've been seeking. Well, you have just found X marks the spot name. So I'm using very playful language here, saying the treasures you've been seeking, and this is X marks the spot. So it's very playful. I don't know if you've noticed I've said, what if I told you? There was a way of learning copywriting without doing the thing you hate. So one thing I really love to do is adding without. It's not this, it's not that. You've probably tried this. What if I told you? Imagine this. So, these are some really good words to use as well. So a way that will teach you the same gold these gurus will teach you in a way where our mateys we struck gold, so I'm being playful, humorous again. That's like part of my personal brand. I can't explain it here because there's way too much beans to spill, but all I can tell you is you will learn how to write copy better, faster, and easier. Intrigued? I've put together a 30-minute video spilling everything, one in on the fun, ready to finally say bye-bye to that blank screen. I'll probably say sad blank screen or I can't spell pointings. That disappointing blank screen. Click here to watch the free training video. I can't wait to show this to you, Alicia. Stay awesome, your friendly neighborhood, Alicia. P.S. Yeah, that's something else which I haven't actually done. One thing I would say is I would add in more NESB stuff in this email, but you can tell like it's structured very clearly. It's very easy to read. It's not like crazy. It's got humor. It's conversational, which makes it even easier to read. But not just that. It's being relatable. It's addressing their pains. So it shows that I specifically know my audience, and it shows that this audience knows it's for them, right? It's not just like, oh, this is for anyone. It's specifically talking to me, right? By me saying you've probably tried X, Y, and Z, automatically like tells them that this is something that they haven't tried, which means this is different, which also means this is new. So I guess you could say this has got NESB in it, and I guess it's safe because you don't have to pay any money for a course. Easy, it's big because you're making big claims by saying you will learn copywriting. I guess it's easy by saying like you can access all the treasures you've been seeking. But that is my email that I've broken down for you. Overall, that's like, it's centered around one big idea, which is the gurus are the reason why you can't be better at copywriting, and the reason why you're still sitting with a blank, sad, blinking cursor on your screen. I should have probably done that before, but overall that's like the email. But other than that, that is kind of it for today's review. If you found me reviewing copy really helpful, then you know what, just comment and I'll do another one. I'm going to be doing a series of this anyways, and if you didn't get your chance to get reviewed in this video, don't worry, I will be doing a continued series where I will be reviewing more copy in the future. So if you do want your chance to get your copy reviewed, then just go in the description below, hit me up on Instagram, just send me a DM of the copy you have, and I will review it. Just so you know, I will get a lot of requests. I will get quite a lot of people, so, you know, just bear that in mind. But yeah, if you do want more of that type of content, then just hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.